So how do you guys go about that? And tell us a little bit more about how you market for new clients.
So we're actually learning. I'll answer the question of how we have done it to this point for the last 9 years, but we're at a place now where what's worked previously is not working moving forward because we've leveled up the business and our clients are much bigger than they have been in the past. So in a lot of ways, I am just like every other entrepreneur of I still have to figure it out from scratch all over again. Up until this point, it's all been word of mouth and referral. We do a lot of networking. We do a lot of chamber meetings, a lot of going out into the world. Our clients, basically our company is survived based. Our company has survived because our clients have referred us so much because they're so happy with what it is that we do.
Welcome to the Small Business Safari, where I help guide you to avoid those traps, pitfalls, and dangers that lurk when navigating the wild world of small business ownership. I'll share those gold nuggets of information and invite guests to help accelerate your ascent to that mountaintop of success. It's a jungle out there, and I want to help you traverse through the levels of owning your own business that can get you bogged down and distract you from hitting your own personal and professional goals. So strap in, adventure team, and let's take a ride through the safari and get you to the mountaintop.
Alan, the chores that we have to go through just to put out this great, incredible podcast. Yet again, another week has gone by. And yet again, I've been contacted again by somebody who said, hey, man, listen to your podcast. Got a question for you, though.
Oh, I like questions.
Right?
Yeah.
Question. If you were to start over, what would you do different?
Not this.
I said, oh, brother, that's a long one. I said, but hang on. This is not something I can email. So I picked up the phone. We talked for 10 minutes. I'm like, look, the handyman business, it is great on paper. It looks great, and it's something you can do, and you will be in houses all the time. I said, it's just incredibly hard to scale because we can do so many things. So if I had to tell you what to do, is find your niche, stay in your niche. And I equated it to him. I just got done telling the NARI members the same thing about remodeling, and our guest happened to be there at the same time. But I said the same thing to him that I said to them is, in the world of handyman, you can be a lot of things to a lot of people, but you can be also a little bit of things to a lot of people. And so what I mean by that is I know handymen who do nothing but appliances and replace glass and fix big glass doors. All three of things we don't do here at the Trusted Toolbox, yet we call ourselves a handyman company. So we found our niche and what we did well. And in remodeling, it's the same thing. We're not all remodelers here at the Trusted Toolbox. I've got a remodeling division, but I don't have a designer on staff. I don't have an architect on staff. I'm not a design build firm, but there are design build, but yet we're all called remodelers. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I think what I told him is find your niche, find where you can make the most money, and don't always chase the shiny object.
That's great advice. As soon as you said that, the thought that went to my mind was I should have given somebody the kill switch. And you know how over the years I've talked about having your own like de facto board of directors, even if you're a small startup and it's people that you trust. But really what I was looking for were yes men. I wanted the advice, but I also wanted people to go, that's a great idea, Alan, do that. And I didn't give anybody the kill switch because I was supremely confident. I was not used to failing. I knew I could get people to do whatever I wanted. I could sell whatever I wanted. I had all kinds of management experience and sales experience. And I just wanted them to tell me, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Go for it. I needed to give somebody the kill switch.
That's another great piece of advice. The gold nugget there is you need to find the no man. You need to find the one who's going to tell you that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, you need somebody to push back.
Right, because all you're going to hear is, okay, so they kind of like it.
Yeah.
I'm going to still do it.
Well,
but
they're wrong. I'm going to do it anyway.
But you got that, right? And so, and our guest is sitting over here doing the right thing, just watching us go back and forth, kicking it back and forth, going, okay, can I jump in? Can I jump in? Guys, we're going to let her jump in. We got Gabrielle Mills here.
And then I guess at this point I can leave because between the two of you, I'm not going to get another word in. So nice to see you.
That's true.
Hi. No, I'm sitting here nodding. I'm agreeing with you guys.
Alan's gonna have a seat because Mills is not her real name. That's her pseudo stage name. She's Italian. So this is fun.
Oh, so she's a performer.
Yeah. You're almost done. You're probably not going to get to talk anymore. No, I got to meet Gabrielle. Oh, geez. It's been a minute. But I remember her saying, "Hey, do you mind if we can just go get a coffee?" And as soon as I met her, I was like, "Wow, this gal has a lot going on. She's chatty, but she really knows her business. And you could tell she had empathy, she cared, and she was really good at business. And she talked about what was funny at the time was that she kept talking about her business partner. And her business partner's name is Chrissy. I'm like, great. I went on and now have known, I guess, I don't know, man. It's been
a long time.
Yeah, over 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a lot longer than that. And I remember still meeting at that coffee shop down at Peachtree Corners. And it took me, let's call it 10 years. I would say 7 years before I figured out Chrissy was a little bit more than just a business partner.
She's my mama.
She's mama. The whole time. I had no clue. And all these people.
And you've seen them in the same room together? Is there any family resemblance?
So it depends on who you ask. Some people say, oh my gosh, you guys are twins. One of you is blonde and one of you is brunette. I don't know how people don't see it. And then there are people that will know us for years and they're like, wait, what? You're just now dropping this on us?
I had no clue.
Wow.
So she went into business with Mama. I love this. So she has a really unique business model. I think people have seen this other places, but I haven't. And so why don't you explain the business that you guys started, Gabrielle?
Yeah, so we are a back office services company. And it's interesting that you guys were talking about niches because we didn't. And I have a lot of experience about what that's like. We basically started 5 businesses at the same time in the beginning. We have on the fractional side of the business, we have an accounting firm. We have a marketing agency, outsourced human resources, and fractional administrative support. So we support businesses that don't need full-time help, but they still need back office support. And then the 5th thing that we do is we have a talent acquisition department serving clients that do need a full-time person, and we hire for all sorts of jobs. We're entirely industry agnostic. So we've helped lots of different businesses do lots of different things.
So it's kind of like, which of these things belong together? And you've got all these services and then marketing, which is really interesting. I don't see, yeah.
But it's still back office. Now, sales is not. In the beginning, a lot of times people were trying to have us do sales and we're like, nope.
But it's a different brain to me. Accounting.
It is a little bit.
Yeah.
Accounting, marketing?
Accounting and marketing, totally different.
Right side, left side of the brain.
Sure. But so you guys, you were in business doing something. How did you come up with, I'm going to do these 5 things right off the bat?
We were not doing this. We were doing none of this. Okay. So my mom, Chrissy, and I knew we wanted to be in business together, but we didn't know what we wanted to do. All we knew is that we wanted to be B2B. We wanted to have a team of people because we liked the idea of creating jobs and being the reason that bread was on the table and creating income for people. We wanted to be as recession resistant as possible. We wanted recurring revenue and we wanted a fun business model. So we brought that to a franchise broker and said, find us everything that meets this criteria. And after 6 years of probably annoying the hell out of him, we didn't find anything that we liked. So we got through that 6-year period. I'm still working at my corporate job. And we looked at each other and we're like, okay, we have a choice. We could either say mothers and daughters never have the opportunity to do that. That was really fun. That'll be a cool part of our history. Or we can take this money that we were going to give to a franchise to buy the model, build something, invest it in ourselves. And if we lose it, we would have lost it anyway. And I would just go get another job if it doesn't work. So we threw caution to the wind and we said, yeah, let's do that. And we didn't know what that was. We still were no closer to a business model, even an industry. We had no idea. So we went to as many business owners that we could talk to and the internet. And we said, where are you underserved? What do you need? If you were to do it all over again, what would you do? And we have a whiteboard in our office now that's like a really, really big whiteboard. It was in my bedroom at the time because I quit my job during this story, moved into Chrissy's basement, and that's where this whiteboard lived. We threw all those answers up on the whiteboard and we said, what's the through line? And at the time, we didn't know it was back office support. We didn't really come up with that term or be introduced to that term until about 2 years in. But that's essentially what it was. We started with marketing, accounting, and office assistants. Then we brought on talent acquisition because a client wanted help hiring, brought it on, and then HR came about 3 years ago.
Do you have what it takes to start your own business? Are you tired of the 9-to-5 corporate job and ready to make that leap into entrepreneurship? Then you need to check out From the Zoo to the Wild, the new book by successful entrepreneur Chris Lalamia. This book is a unique perspective on the journey into the wild world of home services and delivering excellence in service while working in customers' homes. Lalamia shares his path to success in this industry, including proven customer relationship strategies, award-winning customer experience processes, and a unique approach to training a team of service technicians to perform at the highest levels. Whether you're a small business trying to scale or a franchise operation, From the Zoo to the Wild will give you the mindset, habits, leadership style, and customer-oriented processes to succeed as a small business owner in the home services space. So if you're ready to take control of your future, get your copy of From the Zoo to the Wild today, available on Amazon. So in the franchise exploration, what did you learn from there that you could apply to how you started your biz?
One, I learned that I was really cheap and I didn't want to pay the yearly fees. What do they call those, royalty fees? I wanted to keep all the money we made. I really learned how to read financials well and to know if an opportunity was going to be good or not. I learned about the territories and what the benefits and risks are when you have different territories and you're sharing territories. And I also learned if you put your back into your business, how you could be successful versus if you're just coasting, because you get to see what a coasting business looks like and what somebody that really does the grind looks like and the difference in those numbers. But I also learned more of that just by the School of Hard Knocks once we started.
So you guys started to get going. Did you have a seed client? Who was your first client?
Mr. Mark Gailey. Shout out to Mark Gailey.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Did he know he was your first client?
He did.
Oh.
He did. So when we decided that we were going to, and for those listening, Mark Gailey is a longtime family friend. He did a couple of remodels on my parents' homes. And gosh, he knew me when I was in braces. And so he was one of the people that we asked about, what do you need help in your business, along multiple other people. And so when we came up with the concept of Source, of this fractional back office support, we floated the idea by him and he said, oh my gosh, I need that so bad. And he actually wrote us a check and we gave the check back to him and said, I am still working a job, 13-hour days at corporate. I actually just accepted my dream job at corporate. I have to quit first. I can't do this and still be working at corporate. So when I turned in my resignation, I killed the lease on my apartment. I moved into Chrissy's basement and we took 6 months to build Sourced, what it was at the time. And then we went back to Mark and we basically said, hang on for those 6 months. And then January 7th was, I think it was the 7th, maybe the 4th. It was a Monday. And we called him and we're like, okay, we're ready. And he cut us a check. We took a picture of him in our office space and he took a chance on us.
So there you go. It just takes your first client to get you going. That's
well,
amazing.
that way, with every other prospect, you can go, well, most of my clients do this.
Oh, we were so grateful for him. Our second client, I don't know what it was about the first 2 years of business. I don't even think I disclosed how long we were in business because you don't want to when you're super new like that. Everybody and their mother was asking me how many clients we had. And I remember coming back.
Isn't that interesting? They can sense it.
They can. And I was like, stop asking me. The second client he asked, and Chrissy and I were always really, we didn't want to answer the questions. We're like, how many do we have? Gosh, we don't know.
There we go. She says, we're not in sales.
I'll have to get back to you on that. Meanwhile, we have 2.
Yeah.
We had, let's see, including, so carry the one. 2. Yeah, no, you never want to say it. Nobody ever comes in there and goes, this is my first rodeo. This is my first remodel. This is the first time I ever actually cut a fascia board. But you had to be the first one somewhere.
And they always did. I was so frustrated. I remember months and months of people. And I'm like, what gives? Why are people asking me this?
You're like, ask me now. After, because you guys have been in business for how long now?
9 years.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. That's exactly.
But they don't ask you anymore. And the same thing happened to me when I went
they
into
still ask.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
It was weird.
They don't ask as much. In fact, I just did a sales call before we came in to do this podcast. And I was telling the guy, I'm like, I've been in over 16,000 houses. We have 15,000 different customers we worked with. I'm very proud of our 1,060 Google reviews. By the way, he never asked. I just had to tell them. I'm like, finally, I can say something that's really good. But nobody ever asks now, you know. But and when they do, you're like, oh, well, let me. And when they don't, oh yeah, let me tell you anyway.
Yeah.
That's amazing. All right, so you guys started in the basement. When did you get your first office?
We actually got our first office. Well, we had shared office space for a long time. So we had the first office before we opened.
Was that the point where you went, we've made it, we're moving it?
We didn't even get our first client yet. We had shared office space, and we put a decal up on the wall so we could take a picture that had our logo that, by the way, I made on PowerPoint, and that's still the logo we use today because Canva was not a thing. There was no, like, it was either you knew InDesign, which I didn't, or use PowerPoint.
Oh my gosh.
And so we put the logo up on the wall along with our mission statement and our shared little office space. We were there until 3 years ago. And then 3 years ago, we got our first office with the build out with our PowerPoint logo now on, like, you know, channel lettering or whatever. So it looks.
You're got to be kidding me. Your logo was built by you in PowerPoint.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I think she's got a sixth thing she can start doing now, and that's brand design for people, because I never knew that, because the sourced name and design,
good.
it does. It looks really good. And their office space now looks extremely professional. I mean, you go to the Trusted Toolbox, you know you're walking into a handyman company. No, I'm joking. But, you know, it's a good office space, but there's definitely, it just sings with you're working with a professional organization.
Well, thank you. I actually, when I walked into your office the first time, I was like, gosh, I wish we could have an office space where we've got, it's like built out for us. And like, you were like a big inspiration of like, one day we're going to have that. And then when we did, I was like, oh my gosh, we're so legit.
We're legit now. I love it.
Did you guys come up with like an operating agreement? You know, it's family members, it's mother-daughter, what roles we're going to do, how we're going to settle disagreements?
Yes
or
and
do you
no.
just go, Mom?
Yes and no. So we're both type A women that are like, we're both very business oriented. So we knew we needed to have conversations of who was going to do what. That's evolved over time. We don't have anything set out on paper. What we do have on paper is what happens if something happens to both of us. How do those shares get distributed? Who gets involved? What do we do if selling it? I think we redid our operating agreement last year, and it was like, how about this? How about this? How about this? Okay, good. So like we're both very trusting of each other, and we're always in lockstep of, I'm going to take this, you take this, you're better at that, I'll do this part. And so we don't really have to. But we did want to make sure that if, in case anything happened, that was in writing somewhere.
I just, we've had another guest on a while ago, Carl Nickpon, who
I love him.
Yeah, and Carl was just doing a speaking engagement, talking as a panel member. He was a family business. He got into his family business of doing formal wear and tuxedo rentals and then bridal gowns, and it was family. And he was talking about how difficult it is to work within a family dynamic. And to do it that
Well, we
way.
had one much more recently where, I mean, it got emotional because you remember, I mean, it was a sibling situation.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, and that was, oh boy.
I don't even know if I want to bring it up just because we kind of diverted the conversation because it got really emotional.
It did. Yeah. You could tell that would hit her heart.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Can I blow your mind for a second with how deep the family ties go in Sourced? So mother-daughter lead the organization. My sister has worked for us for 6 years. I hired my brother-in-law, and I also hired my aunt, who came in, then came back, then left, and then came back in, and then left again. And my other aunt and my uncle are clients.
Holy cow.
Mm-hmm.
So
like,
I can see the interviews. How are you related to me? Okay, you're hired.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what I want to know is like, what's Thanksgiving dinner like though? Right? We talked about that.
we don't talk about business.
Good.
Oh, there you go.
Good.
Perfect. All right.
Well, we try not to. We used to annoy people all the time when the company was being built because we didn't have anything else to talk about. But now we're like, nah, we do this all day long. Let's talk about something else.
Was there ever a time where you was like, I don't think this is going to work out. Let's shut it
No,
down.
we've loved it. We've loved it. I mean, I think we're very respectful of boundaries. And when we know that something's not working, we just call it out and we're like, you can leave at any time. Like we're not, family always comes first, period. Work your ass off. But if that's not what you want, no harm, no foul.
All right. So you and Chrissy are in the business and getting it going. who's the one who's bringing in the clients? Who's the one serving the clients? And how do you guys go about, bringing in new people?
Yeah, it used to be that I was only in sales and she was overseeing operations. I wanted to be in operations because I thought it was fun, and then I realized that I don't like it. So I happily gave it to her to manage. And as I grew and more in the company, our roles have gotten closer together. Now her and I have identical jobs. Our operations is completely fully functioning without us, where we're all in sales, but we also dip our toes back into operations when it's needed. So we call ourselves one really good person. We're just two people doing the same job. So we're both bringing in sales. We're both looking at operations. We're both looking at financials. So there's nothing that the other one doesn't do. Now, she's got more of a gift on the financial side than I do, and I obviously have more of a gift in marketing. So when it comes to numbers, I'm like, go to Chrissy. When it comes to anything branding, she's like, go to Gabrielle. So
now, is your model, do you actually handle all the services in-house, or do you just have trusted vendor partners that you outsource some
No, we
things
handle
to?
it all in-house.
Really? Okay,
But
so
they're
you have
all
the
separate
expertise.
teams.
Okay.
All separate teams. So our accounting teams, they're all staff accountants, at least 10 years of experience, have to have a degree in accounting, and we have a very specific way of doing accounting. We've seen it done 1,000 different ways. We've seen all the ways that don't work, and so we are very meticulous about what it is that we do. Those accountants, they don't touch marketing, they don't touch hiring, they don't touch HR. And same with marketers and admins and our talent acquisition team, they're all very separate from one another. The only team that blends is our account management staff that is over the client relationship. And it's their responsibility to make sure that quality is happening when there are multiple services. But even if it's just one service, there's making sure that deadlines are met and things like that.
Okay, so a client can a la carte from the 5 different services,
Yeah.
and then you essentially have a quarterback that's assigned to them, and they manage.
That's right.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so they can be
Very
one
cool.
service, they can be multiple, talent acquisition is on a job basis, so that can kind of come in and out. So there's flexibility with whatever the company needs or how the company grows over time.
So I'm still interested in how you guys find new clients, and how do you prospect? Are you internet campaigns? Because you're B2B, and you said I wanted to be B2B and I want to be recession resistant. I love that, and I picked none of that, of course. So I picked the exact opposite.
I picked a worse one, but go ahead.
So how do you guys go about that? And tell us a little bit more about how you market for new clients.
So we're actually learning. I'll answer the question of how we have done it to this point for the last 9 years, but we're at a place now where what's worked previously is not working moving forward because we've leveled up the business and our clients are much bigger than they have been in the past. So in a lot of ways, I am just like every other entrepreneur I still have to figure it out from scratch all over again. Up until this point, it's all been word of mouth and referral. We do a lot of networking. We do a lot of chamber meetings, a lot of going out into the world. Our clients, basically our company has survived our company has survived because our clients have referred us so much because they're so happy with what it is that we do. And we've been thrilled that that's been the case, and it still is. But one, I had 2 kids in the last couple of years. I can't network the way that I used to. So that in one way isn't going to be the way that we grow the company. But also, like I said, our clients are bigger. They don't network either. They want to go to the office and they want to go be with their family. So we're now trying to figure out how to get to them because they're not out in the world either. So we're trying to figure out what's the next way. We at one point had a sales team that didn't really work out for us, but we might try that again. We're in a phase now where we're doing a lot of internet marketing, some ads. We're still too early to see if it really works for us. I've been told that service companies do better with a sales team that actually goes and hunts out clients versus internet marketing. But we'll see. In a lot of ways, we're just kind of starting over on that one.
So your average client size now, what does that look like?
They usually start around 2 million, and on the fractional side, they usually go up to about 30 million. On the talent acquisition side, it goes all the way north of there.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, totally different market. You're right.
Totally
When
different.
you're talking 10 plus million. This is not a networking, let's just do that. It's, I got to find another way to get in front of somebody and prove a value proposition somehow, some way. Are you finding now that you have to do RFPs or before it would just be proposals?
Not yet, but we have been certified for government contracts and corporate contracts now. So we are entering into the RFP world.
Do most of the clients start with just one of your services and then just start adding them on?
Typically, yeah. They either come in on talent acquisition or accounting. And then they kind of, I mean, we'll tell them all the stuff at the sales process, but they're focused on their immediate need. And that immediate need is my books need to be fixed and they suck, or I need to hire a person. And so when they get through that initial pain, then they're like, oh, you have other things? Okay, well, let's try some of this other stuff. And then they usually do like 2 or 3 services.
And are most of the accounting clients people who are trying to do it on their own and realize that they're in over their head, or are you picking up people who are not happy with their current service?
It's used to be that they were doing it on their own. In the last couple of years, it's picking it up from people that didn't know. In a lot of ways, we grew out of that too. There's bookkeepers and then there are accountants. We had to learn the difference. And we also thought when we first started, because we didn't have a background in this, that we hire accountants that had all the accolades. We even hired CPAs at one time. There's a lot of different ways to do accounting. We had to figure out what we believed was the absolute right way and then hold all of these accountants to the exact standards of what it is that we do. Now we've learned over time how to suss out good accountants and what they do and their practices and things like that. But now we're cleaning up a lot of people that likely didn't know how to do it correctly. And then we come in and we're like, sorry, your books are really bad. We need to fix it. And then we get them back on track.
So it's all right. So in the accounting thing, it's usually the pain point is totally effed up, need to get fixed out. So you guys are coming in doing the save, if you will, as opposed to the, hey, look at all these other things. Okay, we'll make this. So you have to sell to the pain point on the accounting side to get your foot in the door. Yeah,
typically there's an event that is making them need to look at their books. Oftentimes they've hired a fractional or a full-time CFO and they can't do their job with the reports that they have. And then they don't know how bad it is until we evaluate it. Sometimes their bookkeeper is leaving, retiring. Sometimes their bookkeeper's related. Let's call it a wife or something. They're like, I just don't want to do this anymore. And they were never trained or whatnot. Sometimes they are approaching an exit and they know in 3 years or 5 years, I know I'm going to need to exit and I need to get my books prepared for that. So there's usually some kind of impetus of, I need someone to go under the hood and at least tell me what I'm looking at. Very rarely are they like, I don't want to do it anymore. But it does happen. It does happen.
It is funny how many fractional CFOs have been coming across here in the last 2 or 3 months. I don't know if it's me just running across them and me looking for it. You know, the red car theory, again, when you're looking for a red car. I'm not looking for one, but it just seems like I have been. Or do you think the industry has grown bigger?
Both.
Yeah. Wow. So that might be a great source for you. I get it. There. Thank you. Just thought
That wasn't one of your better ones, but I'll accept it.
Man, I was waiting I waited a whole 30 minutes to pull that one off. All right. So as you guys are doing this and you're out there, so would you say your day-to-day has evolved now to more hunting and business development and then checking in on operations?
By the grace of God, yes. Yes. So we'll call it, but in the last 3 to 5 years, it was a 50-50 split. And my God, that was hard. Because you have to find new business, which takes a lot of time. And then you had fires inside the business that you had to fix and then also make it look like there weren't fires and figure out how to fix it and have it never be a problem again while simultaneously being in happy world so you can bring new clients in. Every entrepreneur knows what that's like.
That's hard.
It is hard.
Yep.
My operations team now is stellar. We have to check in and make sure we learn the trust but verify lesson a few times. We no longer have to learn it. But so we just check in to make sure everything's happening as it should, but we can pretty much throw them over and they're well taken care of. So I am blissfully just in sales world, which is awesome.
Yeah, I remember when I was at the bank, my job was commercial loan operations and also had letters of credit. And the guy who was selling all the letters of credit, responsible for all the salespeople internationally, letters of credit, came up to me, and I'll never forget what he told me. He says, Chris, you have a hard job. He said, I just have to ask for good service. You have to provide it. So I feel really bad for you. And he said that, and then he just unloaded on me and how bad the operations was that I was inheriting. So it was a lot of fun. But Leon Waba said that to me. It's always easier to ask for good service than provide it. So you're right. The operations team, when they make you look good, helps you in sales. And when something goes wrong, you keep thinking about the one thing that went wrong while you're trying to tell somebody, don't worry, we're going to be great for you. Oh my God, that one thing's going wrong.
Well, then we had to learn, like, All the while we had to figure out, re-look at our processes. We had our processes from when we started, but we learned a lot in those years where we never ran into this situation, never ran into this situation, never saw this. And so we had to overhaul all of our SOPs while simultaneously fixing all of the fires that we had and like solidifying what our standards are moving forward.
Repairing the ship at
Right.
sea.
Now we have seen everything. Now we know our process. They're immovable. So now we see something that we've never seen before. And we're like, we just fall back to the level of what it is that we know is going to work. And it's a lot less painful than it was.
So when I look at you two here in the room with me, your businesses are very different in one way. I mean, they're both service businesses, but you have to be with the customer, Chris. You could do yours entirely remote, right?
We could.
But you don't.
We don't.
And the value of that is, I imagine, pretty powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So how much FaceTime do you actually give to your clients?
Me personally or our team?
Team.
So we serve clients all across the country. So a lot of what we do is remote. There's two ways that we really get in front of clients. I'm actually seeing one this afternoon. In the accounting world, we just check in and sometimes do a financial review. We do financial reviews every month with our clients. Sometimes we're like, can you come to us? We'd love to see you. Or we can come to you and just like have a touch point. We give Christmas gifts, hand deliver Christmas gifts every year. If we can't reach them, then we obviously mail it. For talent acquisition clients, if they've never worked with us before, we're like, come on in, see our office, see the legitimacy of us. It's kind of a big deal. Even if it's just me going to them, they don't see the whole operations of everything. And then I'm also giving a thank you gift for clients that have made a placement with us they're local. So I'm like, we're going to drop off the gift instead of delivering it.
Nice.
All right, so you talked about the growth part of this is where I'm really stuck on this. I think it's going to be an amazing time. You've got a solid foundation, and now you're ready to go out there and try some new things and get going on with that. You're thinking about the sales team. How much have you learned from your clients that you're working with right now to figure out how you're going to go out and do this?
Oh, I love what I do because I get to see all the mistakes of other businesses to try to learn from them. Here's what I know. All of us have the same problem, and it's in sales. Nobody knows how to do it. Nobody feels successful at it. And so if nothing else, it kind of takes that imposter syndrome out of the way because every single person has this exact same problem. So am I trying to learn from my clients? Yes. Has anyone figured it out successfully? When you get under the hood, no. So we're all just doing the same thing.
I love that. Did you learn? Yes, I learned that they're just as big of a screw up as I am. I love that because that's what I was thinking that to myself. Is you're right. Once you find that out, you're like, oh, we're all just trying to figure this thing out, man. So it's okay. You get a little grace. Now I got to go figure out what I'm going to do.
As in the sales perspective, yeah. I mean, like we know how to make a good commission, like a comp plan. Like we know where to find them. But at the end of the day, like we all have the same issues. So
let's talk about the talent acquisition. Because that's one thing we didn't bring up, and I got to give some props to Alan because he didn't insert it, so I'll insert it for him. All real estate agents aren't the same, especially all commercial real estate agents aren't the same. There's different flavors for each. In talent acquisition, that's a big swath as well. Where do you guys find that you play the best in?
So a lot of recruiting companies, they niche down, and that's a great strategy. It's wonderful. We don't. So we actually have, it could be perceived as a harder job because we don't know every industry, every job. What we're really good at is people. So we are a people business that just happens to do accounting, that happens to hire, that happens to write. So we know how to disarm people. We know how to get to the bottom of what it is that they really want, what they're looking for. And our recruiting team is not made of recruiters. They're made of business people who knows how to like understand the psychology and the behavior of people. And then we just learn the job and what it is that they need, the client needs in their actual job. So when we first start in a relationship with the client, we interview that client for 90 minutes. And we ask them all sorts of stuff about their history, about their culture, their values. Why are their values the way that they are? What are their red flags? What are their green flags? Talk to me about your best employees. Talk to me about your worst employees. How does this job function across your organization? Are they talking to clients? What about? So like we're really learning about the company. And then we look at the job and say, okay, you need these qualifications, blah, 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 blah. when we go through our recruiting process, we have a 3-step or a 2-step interview process, but a 3-person team to make sure that when a client is interviewed or interviews candidates, these candidates have been way pre-vetted. So everybody's in that 90-minute meeting. The first person, who's our sourcer, fills the bucket with people that are interested in applying or they're going to find them. So they're filling the bucket with candidates. Our second person is her title is recruiter, and she does nothing but phone screens. So she's listening for qualifications and technical ability, along with some cultural things on the phone. If she likes the candidate, then it goes to our client relations specialist, who does a face-to-face behavioral interview. They're not asking anything technical, with the exception of, are you telling me the same thing that you just told our recruiter? They're asking behavioral questions to make sure that this job, this company is the right fit. If they make it through those 2 people, then the client sees them. So we're really getting to know each of our clients and making sure that if they're spending their time to interview somebody, it's because they're a good fit for that role.
Again, I think the whole recruiting process is different for me, especially with the handyman and trying to find guys. Are you placing mostly salespeople, managers?
Yeah, it's all admin to executive and anything in between. And we've done just about everything. So we don't do any labor, or we don't do anything in construction unless it's management. We typically do office jobs, admins, attorneys, paralegals, IT, cybersecurity, operations people, all sorts of stuff.
All right, now let's switch gears to the fun stuff. Marketing. So you work with some people in marketing. It's fun. But she also works, as we talked about, on the president of NARI here in Atlanta for a year. And
Name dropper.
Yeah, I'm going to drop a lot more. Watch this. And I will be heading out. Well, by the time this one airs, I will have already gone to the NARI National Conference, or name dropping, to network with everybody.
And where is this conference?
It's in Austin, Texas.
Nice.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. And so I'll have a lot of Big Daddy stories after that one.
I bet you will.
Yep.
You might come back with a cowboy hat.
You know what? And
you
boots.
should come back with a cowboy hat.
I should. So my son, now we're really going to segue. He goes, Dad, everybody out there wears cowboy hats. Every time I see people, I go like, you better have been on a horse today. I'm like, Bud, that's like telling all of us who wear baseball hats here in Atlanta that you better have been playing baseball today. I said, it just doesn't happen. So let's talk about marketing, because Gabrielle has come in and really helped us with NARI Atlanta do something that actually is super cool. It's just fresh off the presses, but I want to give her props because I wanted to see how she does this with her other clients. We're a nonprofit. We're a group of remodelers and vendors who come together, 280 of us clients and companies. So we don't have a huge budget. We got a small budget for marketing. It's hard to market an association and get name recognition, but she was able to pull off something that the Braves, which is why I wanted to get to the baseball hats, was talking about. The Braves. It's a big deal here for us in Atlanta. Even if you don't like baseball at all, people still identify, if you're in Atlanta, with the Braves because they've been very successful.
Yeah, it's just part of our culture here.
So now we have got this deal going for the next month where we're going to have TV ads and TV spots and digital streaming promoting the NARI brand. And she was able to pull this off for, literally a song. Compared to what normal budgets are, knowing way too much about how much that would have cost somebody like me to get it, it's really cool. So I'm excited that she came back and got involved because we had a meeting. I was like, she has the 2 kids. Can you really do all this? She goes, if you give me some help, I'll stay. I'm like, oh, thank God. And then, of course, we get her some help, and now the guy's gone, so we're getting her 2 more guys to help. So there's your 2, because I said, you got to go help Gabrielle do this. So you did a great job with us, and I want to thank you and give you a lot of credit on that.
Thank you.
What are you doing with your clients in marketing? Because you said that's kind of, hey, you're solving the pain point accounting, solving a pain point talent acquisition. Now let me tell you about this stuff over here. How do you introduce that to them? What have you guys been doing?
Yeah, so marketing is kind of like a tier or a phased approach depending on what people need is where they come in on the marketing journey. So a lot of clients, they come to us and they've never done any marketing at all, and we have to start them with some decent branding. Do you have a good logo? Do you have a good website? Do you have any social media existing at all? I'm not saying
so you do logo design.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I was being smart.
We are a full-scale marketing agency.
All right, keep going. All right.
She knocks it out on PowerPoint.
Yeah. No longer on PowerPoint, no longer on Canva even. We're very professional over here. But yeah, we do it all.
Do you use an old-fashioned typewriter too, Alan?
God, no.
All right.
That
so,
reminds me of my
so
banker
therapeutic.
boxes days with accounting. It's like a tick. Like, no, we're not going back to the dark ages.
we lost her. She's glitching. All right. So talk about maybe one of the success stories you had in your marketing and how you were able to come in and help them with that.
Oh, okay. So we had a client who broke off from a large hotel company to start this technology that will help the hospitality industry. And they had nothing except for the technology and a couple of pilot hotels that it's going really well for. That has been such a fun client because we did all of their branding, all of their logo design, all of their messaging, their website. We've helped them design their app. And now that we've gone through all of that, we created a really sick animated video. That was so fun. But now that that has helped them drive a lot of sales that was already happening, but it just brings them legitimacy to play with larger players out in the world, and they can compete in the bigger space now. And now we're going down the advertising route. So now it's, if I don't book a meeting, other people can still find me. And that's been really cool because we're doing a lot of things kind of like what we're doing with Nary. That's a lot of more brand awareness rather than lead generation to get the name out there. So, and that's always really fun because you have media spots and advertising spots, and just it's fun.
That is a lot of fun. Now, how involved will you get personally in that, or do you turn that over to your account management and your
So for marketing, I still stay pretty involved. I can step out at any time, but I just love it. So I like to be involved, and my team tells me they really like my opinions. I don't know if they actually do or not, or if they're just being nice.
You sign their checks, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I still stay pretty
I don't know if
involved.
they're going to listen to this one, but hey, guys, I think she's seeing through it. You know? If you want to listen to this one, you can. But yes, as an owner, when I say a joke in a meeting and everybody laughs, and I know that
You know who didn't?
I know, and I know I'm
Yeah.
not that funny, and that the one who doesn't laugh is gone.
Yeah. So for
Tony
marketing,
Soprano style.
I stay pretty involved, but for all the other ones, I'm pretty much just like, I'm here unless there's a problem or I'm taking you to lunch. So, and I like being there. We have a lot of clients, so if I were to split my time across them all, I don't think I'd be able to.
Right. Well, this has been amazing. What a great growth and a great story, having you and your mother be able to grow this business and actually employ, I guess, what 3/4 of your family. Well, big family. So probably
They're not all there now, but yes, they've come in and out.
I've said that about
I do
my
have
family,
one
too.
question because it sounds like you're wrapping up, right?
I am, and we're getting close to the end.
Can you squeeze me in for just a second?
Wait, let me check with my people.
All right.
All right, you get 30 seconds.
Earlier,
Go.
you mentioned you know how to write a comp plan, and it's kind of been one of those things I've been paying attention to in business. My wife is an accountant, and every once in a while I hear about there's so many bad comp plans, and it seems like it should be a lot easier than it is, but I see comp plans that are too complicated. I see comp plans that actually incentivize the wrong things and drive poor behavior. And then I see comp plans that may have looked good when you first roll it out, and then suddenly the company is begrudging how much money they're paying to their employees.
Oh, that's the worst.
Which drives me insane.
That drives me crazy.
Because, like, hey, you know, they're choking on money because they're making you a ton of money. So, can you give our listeners a couple pieces of simple advice when it comes to just a good comp plan?
Yeah, absolutely. The first thing I will say.
I got a good question out of Chris. I just want everybody to know.
All right, we'll allow this question. This question will allow, as the moderator says, we'll allow for no. She can take as long as she wants.
Cross-examine.
He's just going to edit it out later.
No, he's not. Oh no, I'm getting ready to write it down. All
Our
right.
eyes were twinkling when she said that.
The first thing is that it depends on the business. It truly, truly does. Whether you're a B2B, B2C, or like what size deals you are closing. The best thing that you can do is to keep it simple and to keep it lucrative. You want people to be able to make money, and a lot of money. You want your sales team to be making more than the managers. Absolutely. If they're making more than you, that's fabulous. Let that be the case. Put your ego aside.
Yeah, let that sink in, folks.
Yeah.
That's actually a big one. I agree, because we have an unlimited comp plan. That's one of the things I talk about with my sales guys, is that you can make more. You can absolutely ton it. You just got to get after it. That's the thing. So I love that. Simple, lucrative.
And don't begrudge the fact that they start making some serious
celebrate
jack. Yeah.
Celebrate it. I don't know why people, whatever, people's egos. But so a couple of baseline.
Guilty.
She was looking at Chris.
She was too, and I was looking down. I'm like, yes, I know.
Put your ego aside.
All right, putting it right. I'm
You do want to have a base, but that base needs to be low enough for them to still work. So you want your commission side to benefit to largely outweigh the base. You don't want you to make your base livable and comfortable, but you can't get away with no base. You just can't. And then the other thought was there is a very creative way. There's a lot of different ways to structure how you do commission. Something very successful is putting in place accelerators for different tiers. So if you meet a certain baseline or a certain quota, you stay within a certain percentage. That's awesome. You keep your job, everyone's happy. But if you exceed it by a certain amount, your commission doubles or is, more in some way. If you get to this tier, it's this way. So it really incentivizes them to move faster and succeed faster so they can hit accelerators and make more money.
I have been all across the board on this one, and I took away the accelerators years ago, and so I just introduced another one where my guys get paid on jobs completed that are profitable. That's when they get the check. I don't give them a half check in the beginning and a half check after. They get paid on jobs that are profitable that they sold. But I gave them, if you sold something, if you sold over 100,000 in 1 month, you're going to get a spiff, and you get an extra 500 to 1,000, and it's tiered on that one, and we're trying to see how that's going to go. And that's exactly where I'd forgotten about the tiering and getting people hungry about getting that next.
Yeah, it's you get a lot of salespeople that are telling you otherwise, but they are fine coasting on their base and their normal thing. So it is tricky, and this is where the business nuances come in of how you get them to want those accelerators. Or your accelerators sweet enough, but they may not be motivated by them. So you got to figure out what motivates them and go that direction. But you also might have a sales team that just doesn't care, which is fine,
Well, and I want to say one thing about your business, Chris, and the accelerators. So the estimator has a piece, or the salesperson has a piece of the profitability of it because they have to bid the right number, but they don't have control over the actual expenses, the costs of the job. So it could really suck for them and be a demotivator if suddenly, your crew is not delivering. I see your eyes widen.
For all salespeople, that's the same way for every.
So I don't think salespeople should be tied to the profit.
So I'm smiling because back to what Gabrielle said, she can go out and sell right now because her operations are tightened up.
Yeah.
What I tell the sales guys is if the operations guys fall and you didn't help pick them up when they called you to say, hey, I ran into a problem where you didn't call this out. I need this done. And you didn't help them get an add-on or to keep us up to the profitability.
Or what if the guy doing the job screws it up? It shouldn't hurt the estimator.
So I do not hit them on that, but that has happened very rarely compared to I missed something in my original estimate, or the team went out there, tried to get a hold of you to find out why you wanted this instead of that. You didn't get back to them. They did that, and the customer said, "Oh, I wanted this." Then they get dinged, and so I make it a bigger deal. But you're right; it's not demotivating. But it's definitely a lesson learned because in our world, there's so many things that change. But another example, a guy bids a certain amount of materials, and right now, man, we're fluctuating on the week right now. It is. I'm telling you guys, when you talk about lumber, it is all over the board. I got one supplier at $2 difference than another supplier, and I'm talking about on not a linear foot, but this is a 16-footer. So I hit them with that. So they've got to have the responsibility to price it correctly in the beginning. Because one thing I will say in my business, the profitability is established the minute you make that sale.
Right.
Think about that for a minute. Or
your maximum profitability, I guess.
Yeah. You could say it like that. Yeah. But yeah, I don't ding them if it's horribly bad. But if they misorder a door, I make them buy it so they can go out and resell it. But they're buying it. Yeah. So. I
don't have those struggles.
Yeah. Did I mention I wrote down yours? B2B, recession resistant.
So is the door that you put in my house one that you screwed up on somebody else's house?
I can neither confirm nor deny that. No, but I do have. I tell you what, I've got some great doors and windows for both of you. If you guys want a certain size and a certain color, I got some really good ones.
I got a bunch of portholes coming to my house.
Guys, I think we're gonna have to skip these last 4 questions unless you're ready.
I'm ready.
Well, let's do it.
I was born ready.
Give us a book that you would recommend to our audience.
Oh my gosh, there are so many. Okay. I love The Purpose Driven Life. Don't know who wrote it, but it's an older book. I think it's from the 80s or 90s. It's so good. I love that. That was life-changing for me. Oh, and Brendan Burchard's High Performance Habits. I read that sucker like the Bible. It is absolutely fantastic.
Give me that one more time.
Brendan Burchard, High Performance Habits.
High Performance Habits. All right, gold nugget on that one. And purpose-driven book.
Life.
I got that. Life.
Purpose-driven life.
All right, I'm writing that down. Sorry. You'd think I was Googling it to find it out because, no, I can't do that. All right, because I got my phone on stun. All right, let's keep going. What's a favorite feature of your home?
I'm looking for a new home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two kids will do that to you.
Yeah, we've outgrown it. And I've changed every little bit of it. I love my high ceilings.
All right, so that's when you go for the new home. We got to have some high ceilings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
And a pool.
Stressful. Oh.
And a nice kitchen.
But other than that, she's pretty
other than
wide
that,
open.
I'm pretty low maintenance. Other than that, oh, did I mention I want a gilded gold bidet? No,
That'll be cool too.
that would be. All right. I love this. All right, next question. Alan and I consider ourselves customer service
Freaks.
Absolutely, because we love customer service and love making it happen. When you're the customer and you're out there getting service, what do you have a biggest pet peeve on?
Biggest pet. Okay. I'm going to be a little rude here. Stupid people. Can't stand it. Like, use your critical thinking. Like, you don't have to solve my problem perfectly. You don't have to be the best person doing whatever it is, but please show me that you care to be there and that like you're putting some drive behind your job, your role, talking to me. Just critical thinking. When it doesn't happen, it drives me nuts.
Just give a little effort. Pretend.
Yes.
You want a little effort?
Just a little effort.
Did I mention when I went to McDonald's and I walked up to I walked past the kiosk that you're supposed to order and walked up to the counter only to have her say that it's over there. All she did was point and go, it's over there.
Oh, see that? It's like,
I was
come
like,
on.
Okay. I just wanted to see what would happen. And it was a test. And I did go to the kiosk and I did help another old couple put the stuff in the kiosk because they made them do it too. And I was like, wow. You realize what you're doing. When Chick-fil-A
You get
right
like
there.
the deer in headlights look when you ask for something, and it's just like, what? And I'm like, oh, come on.
Right.
Oh, my least favorite is now you go into fast food and they just look at you and they don't even say, what can I help you with? And so I'll just stand there and stare at them until they have to say the first word. Drives me insane.
Yeah.
And these are your customer-facing,
It's hard.
the best customer-facing people you have in your organization. The management there sucks.
Oh my gosh, I could
Drives
go
me
on
crazy.
for
Like, I'm getting
an
hot.
hour on this because
Makes me
I would
mad.
say coming out of COVID, I felt like we all lost manners and we all lost the interpersonal skills, even people who are good at it. And somebody just asked that question, if you think that it's still going on even today. Have we lost our manners and our ability to talk and communicate with people and connect?
My son's a school teacher, and it's kind of wild to hear him talk about how that's cycling through those lost years. They talk about it as the lost years.
Wow.
It's bad.
Yeah. So that's
Our
a great
country's going to get real dumb in a minute.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Huh. I need to retire. All right, let's keep going. All right, last one. We love DIY nightmare stories. Death, dismemberment.
And it's not a contractor. It's not somebody else's. It's
because
your own pain.
I will tell you.
Wait, you like what?
We like
Do it
DIY
yourself.
nightmare stories.
Nightmares. I was like, how do we get from DIY to murder? I'm so confused.
Oh no,
Oh, that would be good.
no, I didn't.
we haven't had
I
a
was like,
murder
how do we
yet.
get to DIY and
I will
dismemberment?
say, we were close to it. I mean, I will tell you, you're only 15 feet away from where Chris put a nail right through his foot, putting up a structural support beam here down to get the bar up.
You were pointing to the ceiling and you shot yourself in the foot.
No, I stepped down on the nail. I was waiting for somebody to come help me put this LVL beam. He was running late. I was a little impatient, so I said, I'm going to do it myself. And I jammed it up there, and then I jumped down right on the board that had fallen with the 2x6 sitting up, and there was the nail.
At least it was over quick.
It was right there.
Anything like that?
Okay, yeah. So anything, can you top that one?
No, I can't top
Okay,
that one.
all right.
And
That's
I
actually
don't.
not even my worst
That's
one.
okay.
No, I don't have a nightmare story, but I can tell you my favorite DIY story in my office that you said was beautiful. Thank you very much for that. Every single chair was handmade by me.
Oh boy.
Every single one. I think we have over 100 chairs in there, and we got them all off of like Amazon and Wayfair. So yours truly, while during maternity leave, I had my newborn 2-week-old in that office. I was putting together all the chairs in my office.
How was the hourly rate on that one?
It wasn't very profitable.
You weren't the commission sales guy wasn't getting paid on that one. Yeah, I hear
No.
you. Ooh, ding the salespeople. All right, Guys, you've learned something about back office. It's, again, I think a great niche, because I had never really heard of something like this, and somebody who can offer this many breadths of services for you. So Sourced, go check it out. Gabrielle Mills, go check her out on LinkedIn. She's out there. You can go check out Sourced.
GetSourced.com.
GetSourced.com.
We're working on Sourced.com.
That's a big one.
Yeah, we're
Get
trying.
Sourced. Don't forget Sourced.
I like
Get
Get
Sourced.
Sourced.
Get Sourced.
I like that.
It is cool. And on that note, go be cool out there yourselves, man. Make it a great week. Keep doing something good. Every week matters. Every minute matters. Every second counts. Let's go make it happen. Get up that mountaintop. Let's make it go.
Cheers, everybody.